The ongoing anti-government protests in Iran have significantly heightened tensions in the Middle East and raised concerns about possible U.S. military involvement. The protests, which began in late December amid worsening economic conditions, such as high inflation, unemployment, and declining living standards, have gradually transformed into a broad-based movement against Iran's religious leadership. Since the 1979 Islamic Revolution, the country has been governed by a theocratic system, and the current unrest is viewed as one of the most serious challenges to that rule in decades. Against this backdrop, former U.S. President Donald Trump has repeatedly warned that Washington could intervene militarily if Iranian authorities intensify their violent crackdown on protesters. Trump's statements on social media, including a message directed at Iranian demonstrators saying "help is coming," fueled widespread speculation that U.S. military action against Iran might be imminent. Tensions escalated further after reports emerged that some U.S. personnel had been advised to temporarily leave Udeid Air Base in Qatar. The base is the largest U.S. military installation in the Middle East and hosts approximately 10,000 American troops. Although diplomatic sources emphasize that this was not a full evacuation, but rather a precautionary repositioning, the move intensified fears of a potential U.S.-Iran confrontation. Iran has previously targeted this base in retaliation during periods of heightened conflict, adding to the sense of urgency and risk. The United States maintains an extensive military network across the Middle East, with at least 19 permanent and temporary bases in the region. 8 permanent bases are located in Bahrain, Egypt, Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. This infrastructure provides Washington with the ability to launch rapid air and missile strikes if needed. In the past, the U.S. has demonstrated its capability to conduct highly precise operations, including the use of B-2 stealth bombers and bunker buster bombs against hardened targets. Despite these capabilities, experts largely agree that a full-scale war or ground invasion of Iran is highly unlikely. According to political analysts, Trump has historically favored short, limited operations that minimize U.S. casualties rather than prolonged military engagements. One frequently cited example is the 2020 U.S. drone strike in Baghdad that killed Iranian General Qasem Soleimani, the commander of the Quds Force of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Trump has also publicly suggested that the United States knows the whereabouts of Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and could target him if it chose to do so. However, analysts caution that any such action would provoke severe retaliation and could rapidly escalate into a regional conflict. Scholars such as Vali Nasr of Johns Hopkins University argue that Iran may believe the U.S. strategy is not regime change through invasion, but rather limited strikes designed to pressure Tehran into making concessions on its nuclear and missile programs. Lessons from Iraq and Afghanistan have made U.S. policymakers wary of long-term occupation or nation-building efforts, especially in a country as large, complex, and militarily capable as Iran. In conclusion, while the combination of mass protests in Iran, Trump's aggressive rhetoric, and precautionary U.S. military movements has raised alarms across the region, most experts believe that any American intervention would likely be limited in scope. A large-scale ground war appears improbable, but the risk of targeted strikes and dangerous escalation continues to loom over an already volatile Middle East.